Well, good evening. Here's a radio I've just picked up. I was a little bit reticent to try one of these because tuning an analog tuning a DSP radio has not been all that successful for the ones that I've used in the past. However, after reading a number of reviews online, I thought I'd give it a go, and I understand this particular version has a lot of the issues of DSP tuning removed. So it's turned up, and I'm very, very pleased that I took the time to purchase one of these radios and have it brought in from the United States. It's a fantastic medium wave DX radio, and I couldn't recommend it highly enough. Now, there's many things online about these, but just to quickly go over it, of course you've got a large speaker, a nice lit analogue dial there, the wave change switch, AM, FM stereo, bass, treble and wide narrow switch there, light switch up the top, your main power on off. On the side here you've got main tuning, volume and twin coil ferrite AM tuning control, which is extremely useful on this particular radio. On the back of the radio you can see a telescopic antenna, switches for internal external antenna, 9 or 10 kilohertz band stepping, external AM antenna, an external FM antenna, and of course for the batteries, 4 D cells. Now, for those who haven't been used to DSP tuning, you'll notice that it actually tunes in steps, and which takes a little bit of getting used to at first, in comparison to relatively smooth analog tuning. But once you get used to it, it's fine. Now, this particular radio, the only qualm I have about it is if you see here, once it focuses, the radio actually tunes to 1710 kilohertz with the 10 kilohertz tuning step, which is what people use in the United States, or 1620 with the 9 kilohertz tuning step, which is used in Asia, Australia and Europe. Now, I don't know why the tuning of the radio stops at 1620 kilohertz. I don't know whether it's a function of the DSP chip or whether or not it's a function of the coils that it uses. I'm not sure. But I can't for the life of me work out why the radio doesn't tune to 1701 kilohertz for Australia, Asia and Europe, because we do have stations up in that area. And when you actually do tune up towards the top end of the dial, the actual scale bears no relation to what you're receiving on with the 9 kilohertz stepping. So you'll find, for example, I quite often listen to 1566 3E from Wangaratta in Victoria, and it's actually around about the top end of that zero there on 1600. So it certainly loses its tuning accuracy above, say, it's a bit over 1500 kilohertz, which is a bit of a shame. But I understand with the 10 kilohertz setting that they use in the United States, well, that's not a problem. One thing I did forget to indicate was the tuning light there, which shows you when you're locked on at the particular frequency. Very worthwhile. Now, I've done some listening with this radio, and even during the day I've been able to hear a few stations up to around about 500 kilometres away from here, albeit noisy, of course. But I'm very, very impressed with this radio. All right, there's, as I said earlier, there's plenty online about it. You can see many reviews regarding this particular radio. There are some older versions of it, of the CCRadio EP Pro, so beware if you're outside the United States about what version you buy, but I had no problem whatsoever with the purchase of this particular radio. Very happy with it. I'll probably do some videos later on down the track, doing some DXing on it, so look out for those. Okay then, hope you've enjoyed this very brief introduction to the CCreane CCRadio EP Pro, and thanks again for your watching. Cheers now.